Good morning, my friends, my students. I miss you so much. Hope everything will be fine, inshallah, and we will meet together soon. Today, our lesson, we've already covered part of it last week, is factorizing sum or difference of two cubes. Before, a couple of weeks ago, we have already covered how to factorize if we have like polynomials and they have common factors, and we knew how to take the greatest common factor out and then solve the rest of the polynomial by taking the greatest common factor. Then we've covered factorizing difference of two squares. You remember this? Today we're gonna cover how to factorize sum or difference of two cubes. But before going through our lesson, we need to be familiar with some perfect cubes which are very popular, which are the five numbers in front of us now. 1 to the power of 3, it means 1 multiplied by itself 3 times is 1. You have to study them because these are the most popular numbers which comes even in SAT exams. 2 to the power of 3, it means 2 multiplied by itself 3 times will give me 8. 3 to the power of 3, 3 multiplied by itself 3 times is 27. 4 to the power of 3, 4 multiplied by itself 3 times will give me 64, and 5 to the power of 3 is equals to 125. These are the 5 numbers. You should study them by heart because they are very popular in most of the questions coming in factorizing. Let's take an example and see how can we understand how can we solve this problem or this polynomial, which type of or which method is gonna be applicable in this problem. So here, factor the following: x power 3 plus 27. Here the lesson says what? Factoring sum or difference of two cubes. It means the expression should be a binomial consisting of two terms. So the first thing, that the expression in front of me should consist of two terms, binomial. It means binomial. Then I check the both terms. The first term, does it have a cubic root? Yes, it has cubic root because x power 3, the cubic root of x power 3 is x. And the second term, does it have a cubic root? We've already covered that 3 to the power of 3 is 27. So this term 27 has a cubic root because if I multiply 3 by itself 3 times, it will give me 27. So the cubic root, the cubic root of 27 is 3. So now these two terms have cubic roots. So this binomial is going to be solved by factorizing sum of two cubes. So how can I solve such a binomial? Now I understood that it is a binomial. Each term has a cubic root. So how can I solve this binomial? Factoring of two cubes. Okay. Now I have to answer this I have to factorize this. How? I will write or obtain two brackets, one smaller and the other is a little bit bigger. The first bracket should contain the cubic root of the first term and plus as the problem has the sign, I put the same operation sign inside the first bracket. Plus, so I will put it plus. Then I will write the cubic root of the second term. So the cubic root of the first term, x cubed, is x. The cubic root plus, because the problem has plus, so I will put down the plus. Then what about the cubic root of 27? We just know that the cubic root of 27 is 3. So now the first bracket is done. What about the second bracket? The second bracket is going to contain 3 terms. The 3 terms should be as follows. The first term of the second bracket is going to be the square of the first term of the first bracket. X, what is the square of x? It's x to the power of 2. Let's leave the second term for a while and go for the third term, or the last term of the second bracket. The last term of the second bracket is always has a positive sign. Always has, this is a rule, is always has a positive sign, always. Okay, so this last term should have all the time a positive sign, and the last term is going to be the square of the second term of the first bracket. Okay, so 3 to the power of 2 is 9. What about the second term, or the middle term of the second bracket? It takes the opposite sign of the first term of the first bracket. So here it's positive plus sign, so I will put in the middle term the opposite sign, which is minus, and I just multiply the first term of the first bracket by the second term of the first bracket as well. So I will just multiply 3 by x is going to be 3x. So again, here x cubed plus 27. The first term will, I will, after knowing that they are binomial, the expression is binomial, each term has a cubic root, then I will write down 2 brackets. The first one is a smaller one and will contain the cubic root of the 2 terms. The cubic root of x cubed is x, and the cubic root of 27 is 3, and I will just put the same operation sign in the problem. Okay, so the first bracket is easy. What about the second bracket? The second bracket is a little bit bigger. It will contain 3 terms. The first term of the second bracket is the square of the first term of the first bracket. So x to the power of 2. The square of x is x to the power of 2. Let's leave the middle term for a while and go for the last term, or the third term of the second bracket. The last term of the second bracket is always positive, has a positive sign, and it's gonna be the square of the 3, or the second term of the first bracket. 3. What is the square of 3? Is 9, and it always takes a positive sign. What about the middle term of the second bracket? The middle term of the second bracket takes the opposite sign of the first bracket. So if this positive, this will be negative. If this negative, it will be positive. And I just multiply the first term by the second term of the first bracket. So 3 by x is going to be negative 3x. Let's take another example to see how it will work. As you see here, a power 3 plus b power 3, the first bracket is going to be the cubic root of the 2 terms, a plus b, and it takes the same sign of the problem. The second bracket, or the other bracket, which is a little bit bigger, it will have 3 terms. The first term is the square of the first term of the first bracket, and the last term is always positive, and it takes the square of the second term. Okay, and here positive sign I will put in the middle term negative sign, and I just multiply a by b, which is going to be negative ab. Let's take another example. Here, no, let me take a simple one. Yes, here, 8x to the power of 3 minus 27. Factor the following completely. So here I will ask myself, is it binomial? Yes, it is binomial because it contains 2 terms. Type 8x to the power of 3. 8, does it have a cubic root? if I multiply, what is the number if I multiply it by itself 3 times? It will give me 8. It's 2. So 8 has a cubic root. What about x power 3? Yes, it has a cubic root. And 27, we already did it before. 27 has a cubic root, which is 3. So now this is a difference of 2 cubes. Difference, why I say difference? Because there is a minus operation, minus sign between the two terms. So this is a difference of 2 cubes. So I will factorize it as follows. I will make 2 brackets, small bracket and a bigger bracket. The first bracket, which is the smaller one, I will just write down the cubic root of each term. 8, what is the cubic root of 8? It's 2. What is the cubic root of x power 3? Is x. And I will put the same sign as it is inside the bracket. Same sign of the problem, I will put it the same as it is. Then here is minus, I will put minus. Then 27, what is the cubic root of 27? As we said previously in our previous example, the cubic root of 27 is 3. So the first bracket now is done. What about the second bracket, which is a little bit bigger? The first term is going to be the square of the first term in the first bracket. What is the square of 2? Yani it means 2 to the power of 2 is 4. X to the power of 2 is x to the power of 2. So the first term in the second bracket is done. As we said previously, the last term is always have positive sign, and it is the square of the second term of the first bracket. So it's always positive, and the square of 3 is going to be 3 power of 2, and it means 3 multiplied by itself 2 times. 3 times 3 equals 9, so the answer is 9. What about the second or the middle term? The middle term in the second bracket. I just put as we said, I just put the opposite sign of the first bracket. Here is negative, so I will put positive. Then I multiply the first term by the second term. 2 times 3 equals 6. 6 times x is 6x. So now the answer will be, the first bracket is 2x minus 3, and the second bracket is the first square, 4x to the power of 2, plus 6x, plus, because it takes the opposite sign of the first bracket, and I multiply 2 by 3 is 6, times x is x, and the last term is always positive, and it takes the square of the second term of the first bracket. 3 to the power of 2 is 9. Now we're gonna stop here and continue tomorrow, inshallah. Hope you understand everything. If you have any question, feel free to ask me tomorrow, or you can email me, or you can just we can find a solution for any questions. And tomorrow, inshallah, we'll continue our session. Hope you understood it. Have a good day, and see you tomorrow, inshallah. Thank you so much.